It is ready! Well, kinda. The first step is done. The Guardian farm is working. However, I do have a good few things that I still have to do. As a first thing, I need to build a full-on storage system because what I have right now doesn't work. Items always go to the last hopper. I'm not losing items yet because the farm is not fully complete. I still have to add some additional things to it. But I don't really want to cause any lag, so a storage system is really important. And when I say storage system, I mean a sorter, because I need to make sure that I sort everything that comes out of this. So I am prepared for the next step, which is to auto-craft some of the items. I don't really know if I want to auto-craft all of them, but I think realistically it's probably better if I do. In case anyone is watching this and doesn't know what this is a Guardian farm, so we are gonna be getting 6 different items from this farm. Currently I can only get 5 because I don't have any ink or black dye, so I'm gonna have to start working on that somehow. But I am going to create the whole thing for 6 items, and then whenever we are gonna get the black dye, then I know that I'll be able to use it and actually have that 6th item as well. This is how the farm currently looks like. That's me for scale all the way down below. Obviously this is not complete and it's gonna expand outwards in all sides to actually contain my whole season base. So there is going to be a lot of work that I'm gonna have to put into this the whole season, but that's the whole point. I wanted this to be the centerpiece of my base, and that's exactly what it's going to be. All in all, it took me about a week to get this done. And if I were to put it in hours, I don't know exactly. It was probably about 12-14 hours, I want to say, of non-stop grinding to get this done. I realized that I kind of chose a bit of a wrong way to drain the monument, and instead of tearing it all down, I kind of drained the top and then drained it on the bottom, which honestly I think it made it a bit slower because some of the areas were too big for sponges, so I had to section them off again. So if I were to do it again, I would definitely tear it down first, and if I am ever going to do this again, I am most definitely asking for help. So before I can actually start working on the storage system, I need to fly over to my kind of base area, if you can call it a base area, where my chests are, let's say, and grab some resources and start crafting some redstone components. Editing Yuki over here. I don't really know exactly why I said there's 6 items coming out of this farm, because there are actually only 4. I don't know exactly what I was thinking, but I just wanted to clarify that. Skipping past the crafting, since you've already seen this a million times and you probably have done it yourself, I kind of spoke to Emmy in between this, and I wanted to test how the copper golems would work since we now updated to 1.21.10. So I kind of designed a copper golem storage to see how it's gonna work out. This is the storage in action, and honestly I don't really feel like it's working as good as I thought. Maybe it would be better if I would have to sort more items, but I feel like for what I need here, and there's only 3 types of items that come out of this farm, I think I'm just gonna stick to a regular storage system. And by regular, I mean this thing. You've seen this a million times. Once again, just a regular sorting system. This last one is the fish that just get dispensed into this. I don't have a sticky piston, so I just have 2 observers clicking constantly to get rid of that. And I made a water loop over here, just in case any of the items wouldn't go through the hoppers quick enough. I have basically 2 chests for the shards and then 2 chests for the crystals. So far, the only thing that I've seen cycling through is the fish, which is a really good thing. And I have been AFKing, I think, for about 2 hours or so. And I got a pretty decent amount. I've already checked here, so we're all the way up here, so the whole row. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 double chests of shards, and I think there's some over here as well. I think I forgot to connect the bottom ones. Did I? Looks like I did. Okay, that's good to know. Do I still have some hoppers on me? I don't know how I forgot to connect these, to be honest. I had the hoppers on me, but I guess it happens. So everything should be trickling down now into this one. So yeah, we got a very decent amount of this. I don't know how many sea lanterns and blocks I would probably craft out of this. But while I was doing this and I was building the storage system, I actually crafted and got a lot more blocks just with the old storage system that I had in place to test the farm. So I think I'm going to go to the shopping district and actually place down a very temporary shop. And since this is yet another pop-up shop, what better place than to put it right next to my other pop-up shop and the emerald right here. I just added 4 barrels here, nothing too special. And these are the prices in case you guys want to have a look at it. I don't really have any dark prismarine, so they're pretty expensive, I feel it. But I do have something in mind that we're gonna get on to this episode. Since there's no better time than the present, I'm over here at the squid farm that Melissa put together. And I was just noticing that some of the lake over here, or rather river I should say, is spawning some squid in, which I believe that it affecting the rate of it. So I'm gonna drain this down since I do have a good few sponges from my guardian farm, and hopefully that's gonna improve the rates both for myself and for everyone else that needs to use that. And now that is a job well done. Thank you, Melissa, for putting this together. It's definitely gonna help out, and I hope it's actually gonna be even better now that it's pretty much at full efficiency, I suppose, since there's no more water where the squid spawn. So let's go down this hole and figure out how many drops do we have. So there was like a stack over here. And oh my god, almost 2 stacks and a half. Well, over 2 stacks and a half we got over here. So I feel like that's pretty good going for just a couple of minutes of AFKing at the top there. After fixing that farm, I AFK'd for a while and I got enough stock to actually fill in that barrel of dark prismarine. It's still going to be 1 diamond for 32 just purely because I don't have enough ink, and it's definitely using a lot of shards to craft these, and I most definitely have to make them auto-craftable because just crafting that barrel, it took me absolute ages, and I do not want to do that every single time. And because Melissa made that squid farm and made this possible, we're gonna head over to her place now and leave a care package, but not before admiring what Cube has done over here. And honestly, with the shaders and the sun like this, it looks even better. He did an absolute fantastic job of everything around this village, and if you guys don't know what this is all about, just go watch his series. He's creating a story out of this, and I honestly enjoy watching it myself. So heading over to Melissa's place, which is over here at Ghoul HQ. Hi, you are glowing today. Oh, well, thank you. Let's see. I think I can just put the barrel over here, right in front of it. So I dropped the barrel over here. Some emeralds, some dark prismarine. I know she's going to use that. Some other prismarine and some bamboo. I know she uses some of that for some of her builds. And thanks for the squid farm. She will know who's that from, I hope. If she doesn't, I guess she's going to have to go ghost hunting again. After dropping off that, I have been really busy. And to start things off, I will probably show you from up here. If you look down below, you might see a whole gray platform, which took about a shulker box of light gray glass. And the reason I chose the light gray glass is because this is going to kind of tie in with the whole base area, and you can't really see it compared to what is going to be here. At least that's what I'm hoping. And the reason I actually put this glass here is because it helps with pack spawning, which pretty much doubles the rates of this farm, which now are absolutely insane. If you're wondering how I know this, I found a tutorial by Duty Boy over on YouTube. So if you guys want to go and see this design yourself, just go check out his channel. It's a really, really good guide, really cool explanation, and it actually makes it really easy to build. And because the rates are so much higher now, the old storage system actually was a bit too slow for this, and some items were despawning on top of the campfires. So I doubled up the hoppers, and then I added one of these observer clocks that pretty much activate both of these dispensers, and it's working really well. If you want to see exactly what happened before I upgraded this, here's a clip of how the storage actually turned out, because there were way too many items. I then also added another 2 sorters over here. These are just for the prismarine shards, because a lot of them were getting stuck, as you saw, and I didn't want to really lose any drops because I want to sell this as cheap as possible. And then to dive deeper into this, I pretty much made everything to be auto-craftable. There's a lot of chain of hoppers around here. I kind of made this into Factorio, to be honest. If you guys played Factorio, you probably know what this kind of looks like. It just looks like spaghetti, and I actually loved designing this whole thing. So the first one is actually the sea lanterns. The second is the dark prismarine. Then over here we have regular prismarine. And then over here we have the prismarine blocks. The way I wanted this to be designed is the sea lanterns have priority. Once they get full, everything stops and it moves over to the next one. The chain continues. The dark prismarine gets crafted. I have a chest over here that basically has the black dye. I don't have any because I used it all. I just put the ink over here, auto converts, and then it crafts. Once it runs out of ink, or it gets full of dark prismarine, it continues over. Then over here we are making prismarine. At the moment this is actually locked, so it looks like we have full prismarine. I will show you the storage system in a second. And that means that this is now making prismarine bricks. The stop system, it's pretty much the same on all of them. Once this barrel over here gets full, a signal goes through this. I have basically another barrel over here full with random junk that compares it, it subtracts, and then it kind of blocks this hopper from pulling any items down into the crafter. So like that, I don't just lose items because this just spits them out. So it's the exact same situation over here. Obviously, this is not going to have anything, but the recipe is still here. And then the sea lanterns are almost full over here. I do believe that this is still working. Yes, we had 19, 20, should be 21. So the reason that this is still working is because I actually have 2 lines of hoppers over here. I had to kind of modify it a lot, and that's why I didn't record anything. It took me a very long time of testing and AFKing just to make sure that this one actually runs, but it doesn't stop everything else from working. So I have 2 hopper lines over here that basically kind of work in parallel. And even if this one is still working, that comes from a different line, this one is also working as well to work on the dark prismarine, the prismarine, and the bricks in this order. And then down here, I have the storage system for all these. So I have 3 double chests for every single item over here. So I should have a decent amount of sea lanterns. Yeah, we have 3 double chests full. We're filling this up and then we're starting at the barrel. So this should stop soon enough. Then over here, I have the dark prismarine. Unfortunately, the way this works, I am always gonna have some items stuck into here, but it is what it is. Like, I can't really do too much about that. I'd rather have that stuck and have it auto crafted, but I have a decent amount of dark prismarine. I ran out of ink, so I definitely need to go and AFK more for that. Then over here we have the bricks. I've already showed that this is pretty much full to the brim. And then over here we have the bricks. So it's only 1 double chest actually. I was expecting a bit more, but then again, this one is actually using 9 shards to craft. So it's definitely a bit slower, and it wasn't actually working until this one got full. And in case you're wondering why am I doing it this way, is because I actually have a manual override over here with these levers. So I can actually stop any of the crafters if I want to. So for example, if I want to focus mostly on prismarine bricks, I can just stop this. So the system will skip past and it will only produce these. So obviously I still have to decorate this and all that. I'll probably do that in between episodes. I have a lot to do around this area, but I'm really happy how it turned out. I'm really happy and I'm really proud that I actually managed to pull this off. It's definitely not one of the, most pretty things in the world, but I didn't want to just copy someone's tutorial. I just wanted to figure it out myself, and it definitely took me a really long time to figure it out, but now that it works, it's such a good feeling. And also this means that I can actually sell everything much cheaper, because all I have to do is AFK. I don't have to do absolutely anything except just come here, grab the item. So I will most definitely go and change the prices so the other crafters can actually buy more and complete their builds. And I most definitely need to do something with these clocks over here. I don't like them constantly going off. So I think I'm gonna have to get some slime and add some sticky piston of some sort. Some kind of clock, whatever, that detects and it only triggers when it needs to, because right now it's really annoying. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to squeeze that in between everything there, but I guess we're gonna have to figure it out somehow. Because I'm kind of enjoying making these farms and playing with the redstone way too much lately, and I can't wait to actually start building the next piece of the base. Oh, and in case you're also wondering how much stuff do I actually have here while all those are crafting, the prismarine shards are pretty much up to here. I don't know if there's any down below. There's some over here, and then I have a lot of crystals on both sides. So there's definitely gonna have to be some kind of storage expansion by the looks of it, because I either have to sell a lot so I don't lose items, or I'm gonna have to just buy a lot of shulker boxes and store them near the shop or something. Or maybe even expand the storage down below so this keeps going and I pile up absolutely everything that this farm produces. So we'll see how that goes. And skipping very far ahead, this is me from the future, before all this is going to happen that I'm going to show you. My plan was to go try to get a beacon and try to build a quick slime farm over there near my area. You can see I do have the beacon, but I'm gonna have to walk you through a few bits to see exactly what happened and how I finally managed to get that beacon. First of all, to get a beacon, you need wither skulls. And I tried my luck to go to a normal fortress, try to get some wither skulls that way, but unfortunately that was not the case. There's no spawn proofing, their skeletons were very hard to find. So I asked the crafters if they have anything going on, and Whiffs came back and said he actually has a wither farm sorted. The farm wasn't complete and the poor iron golem was dying. We were at number 358 or whatever it was. So I tried to fiddle with it for a while. I tried to make a few modifications. It didn't work. So I found out that wither skeletons are actually attracted by piglins. So I tried my luck getting some piglins going. I did manage to get a few, they died, and then in the end I managed to get a baby piglin, which is not really as efficient, but the farm is kind of working. Unfortunately, there's a lot of spawn proofing that needs to happen, because this fortress is actually in a crimson or warped forest, I don't know which one, the blue one, and it needs a lot of spawn proofing basically for the farm to fully work. Also, we need to try to gather some wither roses. But while I was trying to kind of figure out and play with the farm, I did manage to get 6 total skulls. So that would be 2 beacons. And the reason I only have 1 beacon is because I will try to do something a bit different in the next episode and see if that's actually going to work. To get this beacon, I just used some iron golems, which honestly are really powerful. I think I maybe hit 1 shot of my bow before the wither died. And I also tried to use some snow golems to get some wither roses for the wither skeleton farm. I didn't really manage to get that many, but hey, I guess every little helps, and we're gonna get closer to get Whiffs to finish that farm a bit quicker and actually get a shop from him, so we're not gonna have to worry about farming anything anymore. And that brings us to the present. You can notice here there are 4 corners of stone. This is a slime chunk. I identified it as a slime chunk, so I'm going to be digging this chunk all the way down to bedrock and try to build a really easy slime farm that basically is just gonna work whenever I am in this area. I actually already started this I didn't dig too much, but I just wanted to feel the beacon power. It's such a good feeling to be able to insta-mine. It's just something else when you have a beacon to do this. I know it's not going to be the same case and I'm going to hate mining once I get to deep slate, but I am committed and I said I am most definitely going all the way down to bedrock with this. So with the sun setting behind us, we are finally at the end of the episode. I definitely didn't really have a plan on what I wanted to do too much. I just knew a few things, but I feel like we achieved a lot in the episode, even though I spent so many hours in doing something that I wasn't really planning to. So I hope you guys enjoyed the episode. As always, thank you for watching. I do appreciate all your support. If you enjoyed the video, do leave a like and share your thoughts below. And if you're new here, consider subscribing. Until next time, happy crafting!